What's going on, YouTube? It's James with CBR Fantasy Battle Reports, and it is CornerHammer 2018. It's the first, hopefully, annual CornerHammer tournament in Schaumburg, Illinois, right outside of Chicago, Illinois, right by O'Hare International Airport. Now, guys, this is actually the day before CornerHammer. This is actually the team tournament going on, and I had a couple guests come from out of town. From Team Mexico, I got Joseph Abel. He came on down from Miami, and then he brought a buddy down with. Since they both came out to play some games, and I asked them, like, hey, you know, it's your first time in Chicago, what do you want to go do? They were like, let's go to the tournament and see the team tournaments going. And I was like, are you sure you don't want to go see, like, you know, like, go sightseeing in Chicago? They're like, nah, let's go to the tournament. I was like, all right, let's go. So we went out to Schaumburg to check out the action of the team tournament. We also went to Adepticon to check out some of that. Here's a picture of one of my favorite models I saw at Adepticon. It's It the Clown with Georgie. Anyways, that is disgusting. Anyways, so here's a picture of Brian, so we could get a picture off the clown for a minute. Brian dressed up for CornerHammer. He came out for the team tournaments with his Dwarven Holds and with Fergus the Gimp in the background using his Tomb Kings. Now, guys, so this is a practice game. This is a scrimmage game. This is what I said last time when I went to Hogfest, that you guys should always have like a practice game to kind of get your own rules in mind. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't been playing 9th Age. If you guys, especially my fans who have watched my channel, know I haven't really been playing 9th Age. I honestly came to this event thinking, did I even bring my right models? Like, I was so confused because it's been since the rules changed. It's been since the fact that I just feel like I'm out of it. I just don't know. Like, every time I try to learn something, they change the rules again. There's hot fixes. There's this. There's that. And I understand it's technically a beta, but at the same time, like, as the rules evolve, my interest in the game devolves. Okay, so and so I'm gonna be honest with you. These 6 games that I get in this weekend help reinvigorate my love for the game, my passion for the game. So I'm not trying to like demoralize you guys on the first video, trying to say that I don't like this game anymore. But it was really hard for me to start getting into the game again. So I came out today, wasn't really expecting to play, but I brought my guys anyways, just in case one of the guys wanted a practice match. And sure enough, Rob does. Rob is one of the guys staying at my house. The other guy, not Joseph Abel, but obviously the other guy, Robert Crespo. And he's playing a vampire army, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is the first out of 4 vampire armies I fought this weekend. So let's go over what I have on the table. Let's go over what he has on the table, and let's just do it. As you can see, this is my giant mess of my army, and I'm going to go and try to get some close-ups in really quick. Right over here, I got Baxter the Pyromaniac. Baxter the Pyromaniac is a Pyro Wizard, level 4 Wizard Master, and then he's in the Bushwhackers. The Bushwhackers are the Forest Goblins. He had the BSB Bazooka should be there, but I actually forgot to bring the model today. So I ended up having to go back home to grab that model. In the background, you can see I got the Foot Clan. The Foot Clan are the Feral Orc Ed Bashers. They have paired weapons and the Green Tide banner. Over here, I got my Iron Boys. The Iron Boys came out 21 strong, I want to say, or 21 or 28 strong. I forgot how many. But the guy in the front with that giant hammer is my General Fake Zod, because he's not really Zod. He's nowhere near Zod level, actually. But he came out as my General. He has the Shady Shanking Swords. He has like a 5-up ward save, and then he had a Dragon Breath banner or rod, which I totally forgot about the whole fucking tournament. I am dead serious. The whole fucking tournament. I forgot that I had a Dragon Breath rod. And then not only that, but the Iron Boys actually have Mikanok's Totem, which I forgot about the whole fucking tournament. Anyways, again, this is because I'm playing with, I had no practice games leading up to this, and I totally forgot what new stuff came out. So I knew I had Shady Shanking. Over here I got my I'm going to go ahead and call them the Poodle Chasers. The Poodle Chasers are my 5 Boar Boys, Feral Orc Boar Boys, Ed Bashers actually. I upgraded them, and just brought them for scoring purposes and lack of running. Over here I got my Spider number 1, the A-Rock, the Mother of Dragon, the Breaker of Chains. Over here I got the Chicken Rock, and the Chicken Rock is my second Spider. Over here I got the K-Pack, Koga Kaiser Koenig. And then over here, it is Rob himself, my opponent. So, there you go. We got an overlook on my army. Over for him. Alright, let's get this going here. He has, on the right, that's a unit of skeletons. Let's see. He has 30 skeletons, musician standard. The other skeleton, another 30 skeletons, musician standard. Then he has 23 zombies in the background. You can see them. Let's find a better picture here. Over here he has an altar of undeath. He has 2 of them actually, and then he has bats. He has 2 units of bats. He has 2 units of host. There's a giant block of barrow guard that I'll find a picture later and enter it in here. Then he has 2 vampire counts. Now the first vampire count has 4 spells, occultism. He has Destiny's Call, Talisman of the Void, True Thirst, Wizard Mastered, Arcane Knowledge, so on and so forth. The second vampire count is on a monstrous Revenant. He has Heavy Armor, Lance, Shield, Eternity Gem, Legend of the Black King, Monster Hunter, and Occultism. I don't want to mess with that guy at all. I don't have answers to a lot of things in armies anymore, so I'm just kind of like, I just have to pick my battles. Now, for my spells, I got Fireball, Flaming Swords, Pyroclastic Flow, Enveloping Embers. And for his spells, I don't even have them, but whatever. That's what it is. Alright, so let's go over this. We're playing Classic Battle Line because we're both being lazy. We're playing Hold the Center because we're both being lazy. We grabbed this table over here, and he started dropping, I started dropping, and what I did was I started splitting up my army. I figured I would have the fast stuff moving around the left side, so that way I could try to get into his bunkers in the back. And then I realized he doesn't really have a bunker. His 2 generals are in the middle of the fight. One is on a dragon, the other one is in his unit of Blackguard. But I was gonna go ahead and just still like have the spiders come around the flanks and deal with like tearing up the skeletons and the zombies from the back. All right. Since I have a close combat army with orcs, I'm not so afraid of going straight ahead at him. But he has a lot of chaff. All right. So I go ahead and I put the K-Pack on the right side. The original reasoning for that was to try to hit that Revenant with impact hits, get the Flaming Swords off so I get +1 of wound, and hopefully just destroy them in one shot. Let's go over turn 1. Turn 1, I think he took turn 1. Yes, he did take turn 1. So we're going to go over Vampire Coven, turn 1. Vampire Coven, turn 1. Vanguards, my dogs just went over by the building, and for his turn 1, he decides to move the Revenant onto the opposite side. He said he's going for the spiders. That's his goal. So that's all he really does. He really doesn't. He just kind of shuffles around. Magic Phase. He rolled a 7, which gives him 6 dice, 7 tokens. He goes ahead and he does a spell out of Occultism, which kills off a couple of my Bushwhackers, hoping for a panic check. And I was like, dude, I got the Banner of Discipline on Bazooka, so he kills off 3 of my goblins. That's all that really happens. We're going to go to turn 1 Orcs and Goblins. Turn 1 Orcs and Goblins. Turn 1 Orcs and Goblins. So I moved the A-Rock far up on the flank on the left side. So do I also moved the Poodle Chasers, the Savage Boar Boys. I go ahead and I move my Space Rock kind of far away. I'm making sure he doesn't really have a charge unless he charges into the front of my Savage Orcs or my Iron Boys. And I keep my K-Pack back far enough where I'm just going to try to ram something. For magic, I rolled a 2, which is 5 magic dice, 2 veil tokens. And since I have Backshot Pyro, I ended up doing like a fireball onto his Revenant. He didn't care, didn't do any damage. Go ahead and I try to do... I even forgot what spells I just said I had. That's funny. Let's see. Fireball, Flaming Swords, Pyro Flow, and Enveloping Embers. I was not close for those. I think that was just a mistake. I also have the Hereditary spell as well, but I totally forgot what I tried to do, so I was just like, fuck it. Or I was just out of range for most of the stuff that mattered, and he stopped what didn't. Anyways, so it's his turn. Vampire Coven turn 2. Vampire Coven turn 2. he moves up all his chaff. He's like, oh, you're getting too close. So he goes ahead and he moves up bats. He moves up the spirit hose. And the spirit hose are really my issue because I don't have any magical rider running around. Now, this is the first time this weekend that I realized I'm missing one of my key pieces. And one of my key pieces, I was wondering, how the hell did I get Iron Orcs in a unit with, in an army with 2 spiders and the K-Pack? And I realized the reasoning for that was because I'm missing Koopa. And Koopa would be the perfect thing, the perfect guy to kill Spirit Hose and get in the way of all these little monsters and shit. You know? Where the fuck is Koopa? Koopa, you fat bastard, where are you? Anyways, so he's threatening me with these Spirit Hose, and I'm like, shit, my K-Pack's not gonna do shit against them. Not at all. I'm like, shit, not only that, but if you notice, where the Spirit Hose are, are on the right, they're starting to threaten my bushwhackers. So that's bad news. Anyways, Magic, he rolled a 1, which is only 4 dice, 3 tokens. Goes ahead and he does a magic missile into my Iron Boys, kills off a couple of my Iron Boys. These Banshees on the freaking altar start screaming, and they kill off another Iron Boy. And then it's going to go ahead and start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins, turn 2. Orcs and Goblins, turn 2. I'm like, he didn't see this one coming. The Space Rock has a flank onto those Spirit Hose on the left. I'm just going to go ahead and charge in everybody. The Savages in to clear the chaff. The Iron Boys in to clear some chaff. And I decided not to charge the K-Pack in because I figured I would just bounce off the Ethereal. So everybody gets in. Boom, boom, boom! I move the dogs out of line of sight of his Revenant. And if his Revenant wants to chase this A-Rock, it can. I started moving the Poodle Chasers around the building to get back to the objective. Currently, I think I'm holding the objective with the Savages. But yeah, that's how it looks. You know, thinking back about this, like hindsight's 2020, I probably could have charged the chariots in and then allowed the Iron Orcs to overrun into the Spirit Hose and then just turn them around after combat res. But yeah, I see that now. I see it like hindsight's 2020, of course. Anyways, for Magic, I don't know what I rolled, but I ended up throwing up a Flaming Swords. Now, I do the Flaming Swords onto, I think, the Savages. And the reasoning for it was because I saw the 2 altars, and I'm thinking, shit, he made a mistake. He charged he's moving his stuff outside of his leadership, or his regen bubble. He didn't correct me to the end of the game. There is no regen bubble left on those Altar of Undeath. Knowing this, I would not even picked Flaming Swords. Anyways, shooting phase, I'm going to go ahead and shoot the Bushwhackers into the altar, and I end up doing 2 wounds onto it. Because I got the Flaming Swords up, I shoot it at them, and it does 2 wounds. Over here, I shoot some bow shots from the K-Pack into his Spirit Hose to try to pick wounds. I do 1 wound that goes through. Over here, my spider did like 8 to 10 wounds, but it didn't even matter because he regened or ward saved a shit ton of them, and I only ended up doing 3 wounds total after the charge and the big flank. He failed the leadership check to reform, so they're gonna stay there right where they're at. And yeah, killed the bats, and I turned like this to face my demons, and it's gonna go ahead and start off his turn. Vampire Coven, turn 3, I think this is. Turn 3, Vampire Coven. So he charges the Graveguard into my Black Orcs, and I'm like, great, because if he doesn't kill my general and I stick, I got a beautiful, beautiful flank, and he has nothing to chaff my Savages with. That's going to be great. That's how the table looks. He moves his skeletons on the right to start breaking ranks. Anyways, so I think that's all that's happened. He moved his Revenant back. Don't know what's going on there. Anyways, Magic, he ends up killing off 2 of my Savages. Over here, he ended up charging into my K-Pack. It wasn't that, I mean, it was far enough of a charge where he could have failed, but he didn't fail. He got in, and he goes ahead, and he's going to kill my K-Pack. He ends up doing 2 wounds onto me. I think I did a wound onto him, but he has a charge and 2 wounds. I'm out of leadership bubble, and I run. He chases, and I run off the table. I don't even think he chases. I think he just turns and pivots and let me run off the table. Over here, close combat. Woo! This is the one time the whole weekend I remembered I have the Mechanox Totem. I'm dead serious. This is the only time I remember I had Mechanox Totem, because he has the Banner of the Barrows, which gives him +1 to hit, and I said, I'm going to shut it off with Mechanox Totem. So I did, and doing so, I attacked his general, my general. Oh, wait. I remember how this goes. I remember exactly the turn order. He attacks first with his vampire, because his vampire is fucking fast as hell, right? He does X amount of wounds, right? I attack my general back, and I hit his general, because that's all I'm touching. My general's touching his general. I hit him a couple times. I do a couple wounds. I did 3 wounds. 3 wounds with lethal strike, but he has a ward save, and he gets like 2 out of the 3 ward saves. After that, I said, what do I even have? And I opened up my book to look, and I realized I have Mechanox Totem. Well, now that I realize I have Mechanox Totem, I could have shut off his ward save, but that seems like cheating. Like, oh wait, I should have done it after I knew the result. So I said, since I didn't know, it's my fault for not knowing the rules. I'm going to turn off your -1 to hit. So I turn off the -1 to hit. I hit him with extra hand weapons, and I rip apart like 12 Graveguard. His Graveguard go back. They have great weapons, and they end up killing off like 5 of my Iron Boys, right? So I think I win combat. He has a charge, a rank, banner. I have like maybe 2 rank. No, I have 1 rank, banner, 12 wounds. I win combat, but he really doesn't take much damage, and it's going to stay right there. Over here, close combat, he ends up doing a wound onto the Space Rock. Space Rock ends up killing off one of the Spirit Hose, and it's going to start off Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. I'm calling out on a 3, 2, 1. I'm calling out the Wog! I'm wogging, and I don't even know why I did the Wog. I think I did it just so I could get extra movement on the dogs to get 20-inch movement. Anyways, so I charge the Savages into the flank. They can still see the flank of the Graveguard. That worked. Okay. I move the dogs around the spider over in front of his skeletons and his zombies. I do not want them charging the flank of my Savages. Okay. I move the Bushwhackers. Excuse me. Bushwhackers back a bit, so I could try to pick apart his stupid Spirit Hose that are annoying me. Magic I got. Oh, and as you can see, my Boar Boys are just holding the objective. I end up taking the objective anyways. And you can see the A-Rocks coming up the flank still, since his Monstrous Revenant's been just dancing with the spiders. I got 3 on the Magic, which is 5 dice, 5 tokens, and I might have had some tokens saved. Doesn't really matter much because I don't think anything really went off. I realized after I did the Flaming Swords that it didn't matter. I gave them reroll to hit, I believe, the Black Orcs. Either the Black Orcs or the Savages, and that was about all that happened, really. Over your close combat, my Spider is still struggling to kill the Spirit Hose. Only does 3 wounds, and I think that's still just for the flank and the big flank. But he doesn't do anything back. Over here, close combat. All right, let's start this off. Impact hits, kills off a couple. He goes ahead and he swings away. He ends up with his general. He kills two of my Iron Boys, right? I end up killing. Look at this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of his Graveguard. 10. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I got a charge, a flank, a big flank. I got 2 sets of banner, a charge flank, big flank, 2 banners, 3 ranks, 10 wounds. That puts me at 18 combat res. 18, and I think I did a wound to his general too. Alright? He did 3 fucking wounds. Oh no, he did more. He ends up killing off, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He did 10 wounds, so I'm up by 8. Okay? He's like, oh, I'm stubborn, and I reduce by half, and I lose like a guy. I'm like, what? What the fuck just happened? What the fuck? I was guaranteeing that unit was gonna pop. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I got so much combat res, and nothing fucking happened. Nothing fucking happened. I charged his flank. Look at that. I have Black Orcs in the front, Savages in the flank, and I killed a shit ton of his guys, and he sticks with like 5 left. Wait, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. 7 left. What the fuck? Alright, anyways, who's texting me? Let's see. Okay. What the fuck? Alright, as for the... It's gonna start off his turn. This gets ugly. This gets ugly so bad. Alright. Vampire counts, turn 4. Turn 4, he charges the spirit hose into the rear, whatever. He charges both altars into the flank. I reformed into ranks like so with the savages because I figured if he gets in, which he is, he's going to have to break my steadfast. Okay? Which, you'll see what happens. He charges the monstrous revenant in as well so it could get a breath attack. Okay. Magic, he ends up doing a snipe spell onto my wizard, and I kind of have to let it go because he had another spell that I was really scared shitless of. Hindsight's 2020, didn't really matter. He ends up killing Baxter, and yeah, he starts screaming into the unit, kills off a couple in the unit, and then somebody killed my damn dogs. I don't know who killed my damn dogs. Anyways, over here, close combat, he ends up killing my last Black Orc, so that leaves just my general alone in that unit. My general challenged out, hoping to get the rerolls to wound on his general. He gave me his champ. Over here, close combat. He kills my champ, so I can't challenge with the champ. He ends up doing 5 wounds with, I think, just his vampire. His dragon ghost kills off a bunch. His altars, those are impact hits. Impact hits only kill 5. But anyways, everybody goes, and he ends up killing like 21 of my savages. I have 30 savages. I have 9 left. So he killed 21 savages. He didn't even get a thunderstomp. He didn't even get a chance to thunderstomp. But savages are like paper defense. I think out of 21 wounds, out of all the wounds he did, I think I saved 1 with a 6-up ward save. 1. Then I came to the conclusion, this weekend I came to the conclusion that my dice roll 6s a lot on offense, but on defense, forget about it. There's no such thing as 6 defense. Holy shit. So he breaks my steadfast. I'm not steadfast because he had the Graveguard still there with 1 rank. I didn't even get a chance to kill. I couldn't kill the fucking 2 guys in that Graveguard. 2. All I need to do is kill 2. And so I'm going to break steadfast. He chases, he catches my unit, and I just call the game there. My general ran, my savages ran. All I got is 2 spiders, and he's going to rebuild his Graveguard up. I can't do shit against his revenant, and I just call the game there. It's going to be a win for Rob and the Vampire Coven. And unfortunately, I get 4 games against vampires, but apparently I still do okay, for those of you who know the score. But yeah, that's my first one. For MVPs of this game, I'm actually going to have to give it to the Iron Boys just based on points. I have it somewhere on the computer. You guys are already seeing it roll up on screen. But they got a total of 728 points of killing Graveguard. Foot Clan got the next best, which is 433. And basically everybody else did shite. And I mean shite. It was a shite game. Rob's a cool guy. He stayed at my house all weekend. He was a really fun guy to hang out with. But overall, that's how that looks. We ended up going, here we go, here's a picture of a bunch of guys that we hung out with. On the left is Nick Creep, then it's Brandon Gallegos, I can't even pronounce his name, Tim Adair on the right, with Rob to the right, Skaven and AZ in the back, Joel from Team USA, and my brother in the red hat, Jesse. Yeah, that's a picture of us. We went to Giordano's. There's one person in the that's not pictured, which is Joseph. Joseph kept disappearing. And anyways, so that was Friday night. So we're going to go ahead and get some games in. You can see it right here. Here's my next opponent, which is Mike Lies with the second vampire army of the weekend. I'm going to play him next. But here's a picture of that. And guys, until next time, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope I enjoy making it. Anyways, if you guys can, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. Throw me a bone on Patreon because I'm trying to afford this trip to Croatia for Team Mexico on the ETC team. So guys, any dollar counts, any dollar amount counts. If you guys make a donation of 10 or more, you will get a pair of Koopa dice sent to your house, and then as well as the magic cards when I start making the magic cards come out. I'm up to like 3 out of 6 right now, but I will get back to that as soon as I draw inspiration. Like I said, this weekend was actually a good weekend for me. CornerHammer was a good weekend where it invigorated me to play more, and let's see if I can keep that momentum. Anyways, it also helped me realize what was wrong on my list, and the number one thing is missing Koopa. And I know Koopa won't be Koopa, so it'll be like what I told Nick Creep was, it's like the generic version of Koopa is going to show up. It's like going to the dollar store and getting yourself like a Power Ranger. You know, it's not really a Power Ranger, but it's like, you know, that like generic off-brand Asian looking Power Ranger toy that they give you. Anyways, so that's what you're probably going to get with Koopa, is a generic brand that's going to have only half the power, but I still need a utility character that can handle the issues that I'm running against. Anyways, so this was an interesting game one. I still got the objective, but he ended up wiping the floor with me, so I think I'll still get like 6 points or something like that. So it's a 14-6. Anyways, I mean, in all fairness, I'll just give him a 20-0. It was a bloodbath, and when I didn't break his grave guard, made me rethink what I'm doing in that unit. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoy this, and I will be making the next video as soon as possible. Like, share, subscribe, and I said MVP, and I said go to my Patreon. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoy, and until next time, peace.